Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. It's Rad from Radko Tarot, and in this whole video we're going to look into Aries Sun, Aries Moon, and as well Aries Rising weekly general tarot reading May 10th up until May 16th, 2021. And if you find yourself being interested in a personal reading with me, or if you do want to take my tarot classes, you can check out the description down below. And there you're going to find a link to my website where you can view and purchase either or both of these services. So with that being said, moving to the general reading of Aries straight away. And the first card you do have Aries, that is going to be the Hierophant. Second card of your reading, that will be the Eight of Wands. Moving next, we have the Page of Cups, followed by the Five of Swords, and the last card of your reading, that is to be the Emperor. So these 5 cards. Okay, so starting off the week here with the Hierophant card, it seems that at some point there, at the very first days of it, you are to be counseled and thought of certain things. And because the Hierophant, it is the prime of the reading, I don't know how you call it in English though. I would say it that way. The life itself may teach you these things, because the Hierophant in your particular case here happens to be somewhat changing of view, changing of vision, changing of even belief system as well. And these teachings, these counselings, these, how can I say, benevolent supports as well, are going to have a very, very therapeutic help on you. And through these new concepts, if we may say it that way, or new belief systems, in certain aspects, that is, they are going to find resolution into your problems. And in fact, the resolutions are going to be quite easy. And practically how we can interpret this thing, it is that at the start of the week, you know, your work is going to make sense, the way you interact with your love life is going to make sense as well. And if you have been felt lost up until this point, not knowing what you should do or what you want as well moving forward, well, this is the card pointing that one or another way, Aries, you are about to find out. And by finding it out, that is going to thrust you in a quite of a huge impulse moving forward. And in fact, the impulse is going to be so big that at this stage you will have to be very decisive, and you need to face everything that comes your way with a clear-headed mind. Because otherwise what you risk is to rob yourself from the fruits of your labor, and you're going to put a really good labor behind. That is because with the Eight of Wands, things are going to speed up drastically after you reinvent your system of beliefs here. Either through somebody, or either because life makes you do it as well. With the Eight of Wands, there are to be there is going to be a huge opening for opportunities. Many of them are going to come about, but not all of them are meant for you, and that's why you have to be very decisive here. All right, that's not for me, but this one, it's definitely something I can put through. I can push through, and thus you will, and that is why you need to face the upcomings with a clear-headed mind. Although the Eight of Wands, it's a card which represents rather astute, I can't say mental clarity, it's more like a intellectual insight, and thus it is highly unlikely that you are to deceive yourself. But if ego is speaking, then you have a pretty big chance to do so, I mean, to deceive yourself. So at these early stages of the week, it's very important to trust yourself, to trust your instincts as well, and in generally to trust your capabilities here. Because otherwise, you, like I said, you risk throwing yourself into an endeavor that's it's pretty much is going to lead you down into a downhill spiral that's it will be very difficult to escape from, if even it's possible for you to do so. And right after this dynamic really kicks in, one of these opportunities actually is going to be this person here, which is the Page of Cups. Because I know the next of the cards, this person right off the back is going to start meaning a lot to you. They are rather very graceful and as well very emotionally attaching. This with the Page of Cups, most likely, if you are single especially, there is going to be somewhat of a romance involved as well. These people, they don't concern themselves with the small things. So because you do have some irritating details in your character or in the way you do lives for them, that is not going to be a stopping point at all. The Page of Cups, they prefer to address the overview instead and focus on what can be in the future. So through that interaction with this person, you are going to make further self-examination and also changing of one's positions, okay? And that itself, because we see the next card here, which is the Five of Swords, that itself is going to start alienating you from your current friends. Or in other words, you're going to pour more time into the new one coming around, rather than spending the usual time with the rest of your friends. And when romance is involved, that is quite common, right? Even if this Page of Cups comes into your career, still romance is not excluded, right? You can work together, but still there could be these flirting occasions that you and this person are going to stumble upon. And are you going to allow this emotional updraft to reach its peak? Well, that depends entirely on you, but the more time you spend with the Page of Cups, the more you are going to convince yourself that it's something you should kind of like give it a go. But with the Five of Swords here, as we do have on the 4th position, like I said, you are going to start alienating from your current environment, from the influence of the Page of Cups. And while there is going to be an emotional updraft in between you two, that doesn't mean that the Page of Cups, it's a god. In fact, it's highly likely that this individual is going to start giving you bad advices, all right? And thus, at this stage, again, even though you may have an emotional updraft with the Page of Cups, it will be a virtue, very important, mandatory to listen to your brain, listen to your thoughts, and do not allow your emotions to deceive you big time. Otherwise, you do risk being humiliated, you do risk being disappointed even, you do risk being straight away lied, you do risk being humiliated even. So it will be an interaction where you need to know where to put the boundaries, okay? It's a good thing that you may have something romantic with the Page of Cups, but a romance it is, and you do not allow this person to pretty much obsess and as well take control over your personal life and over your personal decision making as well. Aside from that, at these late stages now of the week, with the energy of the Five of Swords, you Aries can actually get many things done. You can accomplish a lot of things, but it is important again to face them with that decisiveness and clear-headed mind, because while the Five of Swords really grants you victory over everything you decide to do here, regardless if it's going to be about work or career, Five of Swords also kind of like doubles up the price, and at some point, even though you are going to end up victorious, that victory may cost you more than you know, or in other words, instead of being an accomplishment, it will turn out to be a Pyrrhic victory, a bitter victory. And at the end, you are ending up here the week with the Emperor card, and this one, it's quite peculiar finding it at this particular place here at the end of the card, because the Emperor says that the interaction in between you and the Page of Cups, it's not going to have that big of an impact upon your presence, or upon how you do present yourself in front of the world. And it's also a testament, the Emperor is also a testament that, as I said, you should know when to place the boundaries out there, right, where to draw a line. You are going to do that with subtlety, and ultimately you will find yourself at the end of the week having control over everything you do like never before, and that will be especially thanks to those new system of beliefs that you're going to build up at the start of the week, which, like I said, I do suspect most likely are going to be enforced upon you by the circumstances. It's not going to be by somebody. I do believe that regardless if it's going to be how big the romance in between you and the Page of Cups is going to be, you are going to really make them run for their meal. What I mean is that until you know that you can 100% trust them, they will not have you are not going to allow them to have a big spot in your life. And like we saw, trust is going to be a big issue, because they may give you bad advices, and the more you listen and the more you see that those bad advices are, the more you're going to start drifting upon each other. So while you single Aries may be thrilled to hear that there is going to be some sort of a romance, that romance is skating on a very, very thin ice, and towards the end of the week is going to hold itself by a thread, and it will be all within the hands of the page here. Is he or she going to be able to win your trust or not? So that being said, that was your weekly general tarot reading. And my personal thought is that it's not that much on your turf to develop some kind of a relationship, and it is not that much of a on your turf to learn, all right, how to be in a relationship. I do think that the page is the one that meets you and needs to learn how to deal with a person, that the trust needs to pretty much take place. Sweet talks and nice blinking eyes, you know, and these really gentle facial expressions is not going to work this time around on you. So that being said, again, like I said, that was your general tarot reading, May 10th up until May 16th, 2021. Hopefully you do enjoy it and you do like it, and we are to see each other next time. Until then, bye.